All right, MMA Junkie Nation, we got another superstar for you here. This time it's Bas Rutten, the former UFC heavyweight champion, the former King of Pancrase, and also a member of the UFC Hall of Fame. Bas, it's great to catch up with you, my man. How you doing?
Doing freaking awesome. And now you said the Hall of Fame. How cool is it that Kevin Randleman got inducted, right?
Yes, that's right. It is.
Yeah.
Better late than never, of course, but this should have happened. This should have happened a few years ago, but I'm glad he's in.
Yep. Yeah. You're 100% right.
Was it emotional for you when you heard that? I know a few people were, like Mark Coleman, and some of his other friends.
Yeah, it was, because we had to keep it a secret because they came, they told us that it was going to happen. I was so happy because I know that Elizabeth really wanted, well, everybody really wanted it. And it's such a deserving guy, and not only as a fighter, but the crazy things that he did. You also these little clips that they made of him, but just as a person outside fighting as well. He helped so many people helping, and the kids program that he has, and he's always there to help people. And I think a lot of people didn't know that about him. A lot of people do, but most people didn't know. And I think now with the induction, that's going to come out. So then people realize what a wonderful human being Kevin Randleman really was.
Yes. Very, very poetically said. Good stuff there, Bas. About a good friend of yours and someone who you shared the octagon with. All right, so Bas, let me ask you, how have you been doing during this time with, where we're basically isolated at home and, you're limited to who you can be. And, of course, we know each other through MMA. You love your combat sports. We've only recently started getting that. How have you been? Dealing and coping with COVID-19? You and your family.
Well, first of all, what happened was that I felt bad for the students from our gym, and we couldn't open up, and everybody was complaining they wanted to work out. So I started together with Dana Hernandez, one of my students. We started streaming classes every day. We did Monday to Friday, all fighting classes. And on Saturday, I did a Q&A. On Sunday, Dana would do a rolling, stretching, all that good stuff. And we did that for 8 weeks straight, every single day. And then the last 2 weeks, we went to 4 days a week because it was a lot. But, it kept me busy because I'm, like you said, I'm not that guy who can sit inside. And, it drives me nuts. That's why I always said, I don't want to, that's why I never want to be a criminal, because there's a chance that you're going to get locked up, and prison is not for me, for a guy like me. I like my freedom. So that's why I try to do everything by the book. But that was it, and then at home, thankfully, one of my daughters, she's moved out already. We saw her, thankfully, once every 4 or 5 days she would come by. But, I kind of liked it. We go to the market now, to the farm, and everybody's wearing a mask, but there's some places where you can literally pick your own fruit and your vegetables. That's kind of cool. They do that also for kids, of course, so they have something to do when you come over there. Great eggs. So, we discovered a whole new world of farming and eggs, and realizing that eggs from a farm tastes way better than eggs that you buy in a grocery store. And the difference is just bizarre. So, some good things came out of it just like that.
Plus, clear skies in LA for the first time in years. You guys wake up to some haze, the gray and all that. And then, of course, in the afternoon, you get some blue. But I've noticed here in Nevada and in California, it's been a different climate, I guess.
Yeah, it is, but it's how you make it, right? The sky's always blue if it's in your mind blue. So I don't really care, even if it rains outside. I always have ways. Like this morning, it was all clouded. But, we took that opportunity right away to shoot a few videos that I needed to do for the auto trainer. I go, this is great lighting. If it comes to the clouds, it's like kind of the best natural lighting that you can get. So we take that opportunity, and now the sun came through again, I'll see. So you got to stay out. It's nice and warm. But, I started my pool workouts again. That I really enjoy for people at home. If you want to do it, there's a videotape out there, a YouTube thing, Bas Rutten's pool workout. Just Google that. And if you like to be in the pool, it's a great workout because you go in 35 minutes. I do 12 exercises, 4 times, 20 repetitions. I mean, there's no way you can do that in a gym. It's going to take you an hour and a half. But in the pool, since you go from one exercise into the other one, it's a great way to go speed through it. I'm not a big power training guy. I hate it. I have to do it, to recoup my arm. As you can see, it's still gone from my neck surgeries. That's atrophied. So I have to constantly spark it. But, I think it's so boring. I'd rather kick the crap out of a bag or doing something like that than I do power training. But, a pool, it's a nice little twist on it.
Now, the pool workout, does it have to be, can it be at home? Does it matter the size of the pool, or does it have to be one of the big ones that you see?
No. It's this little, the space you need is just around you as long as your arms are. If you can stretch your arms and you turn around, that's the only thing you're going to need. And you can do pretty much everything in there. Shoulder raises, all biceps exercises. It's all how you're positioning your hands the whole time. You can do it like this. I have resistance tools that I can put on, gloves, with fins in between. So if you want more resistance, you can use that. Shoulders, you can do chest, but you got to do this is chest. And when you go back, that's your back. So you go back and forth and back and forth. So you constantly killing 2 exercises simultaneously. And that's why you just fly through it.
Very, very interesting. And, you said something else earlier, the workouts and how important they were to you. I wanted to share something with you. A few of my buddies got those bags, in the garage, and they started hitting. And I was asking King Mo about that, the importance of the wrap and everything protecting your hands. And he goes, yes, it's very important. He goes, and I advise them to listen to Bas Rutten and the audio that he has from his workouts, how he shouts out the combos. King Mo Lawal says he does your workout every day and he loves it.
You see, that is so good to hear, because when I came out with the body action system, that punching kicking device where you can actually do uppercuts on, they told me, they said, hey, we need a workout with it. I said, I already got it. He said, what do you mean? I said, I made an audio workout, which in the early days I used as a warm-up. But in every single fighter who came, he said, dude, this is great. So I started doing the warm-up rounds, like three rounds. Now we had 9 rounds as a warm-up. I go, man, maybe I should make a workout of it. And there's a boxing workout, Thai boxing, and mixed martial arts. That's with sprawls in there, with knees and with some ground exercises. And then an all-round body workout. So 4 CDs or 4 downloads. You can get them on iTunes now as well. And for the people, because this workout, I've been selling so many. There's a hottest selling thing on my website, actually, because it is. You have a lot of professional fighters using it. I use it myself, 100%. I swear this. But there's 18 new ones already on bodyactionsystem.com. A lot of people asking me constantly, and I mean, it's there for 2.5 years. I'm trying to promote it the whole time, but people somehow don't realize it's there. And that got in a crazy amount. We're talking over 100 combinations. The old workout has like 25. So, and this has got elbows, it's got spleen shots, more liver shots, and a bunch of new combinations that came up with that makes it a complete workout. And that's actually what we were doing with the streaming as well. On Wednesday, we had this 30-minute workout, so like 2-minute rounds, but with the 1-minute break, we do power training exercises. So 30-minute nonstop workout, all with punching and kicking and with power exercises in between. It's a great mixed martial arts workout.
Oftentimes the body action system does get referenced. Like when I'm watching the fights with my buddies, I've noticed in the last few years the fighters in MMA are starting to use more multiple combos, multiple strike combos. It's not just the hands; it's mixing in the elbows and knees and kicks and everything. The calf kick, the liver punch. You must be a proud papa that you shared a lot of this stuff a long time ago, and now it's being utilized, quite frequently, and it's dictating the results of fights.
I love it, man. One of the greatest things with me was when I was watching Showtime Boxing, and Larry, whatever the guy, Larry, I believe was his name, and suddenly he says, oh, nice liver shot. And I look at my wife, I go, oh, this is so cool, because it was always a left hook to the body here in America. When I came in, I started calling it a liver shot. Now people start calling it a liver shot. They go, wow, this is so cool to have actually commentators from boxing starting using these expressions, and also combinations. Exactly what you said. A lot of people don't throw combinations like counters. Counters are always one punch counter or one kick counter. Why? If the first punch connects, why not make it a combination? And that's the greatest thing about that workout. It gives you longer combination. It start adding a 4. You do 1, 2, 3, 4 on the liver shot. 1, 2, 3, 4 liver shot. 4 on the liver shot, left hook, right straight. Now, boom, liver, double left hook. You see, it becomes these all crazy combinations. But once you program a mind like that, people, once they keep doing it, they automatically start doing it in sparring, which, of course, automatically translates into fighting as well.
And, of course, the cherry on the sundae is then you throw the kick versus opening with the kick and getting countered. You wanna end it with that.
That's it. That's really what you want to do. Sometimes you can get away with if it's a really powerful kick, like if I do a single kick, but I kick as hard as I can. And it doesn't matter if he blocks or not. I always like to get inside the head of the opponent. So because if I kick him on the defense as hard as I can, then he's going to feel the power in his head. He's going to go, oh shit, I have to make sure that I block this kick the whole time, because if I don't, I'm going to go down. You see, I'm trying to get inside his mind. But if you do it like powerful, then it's okay. If you just throw it like a little kick, it's the easiest counter. Like I would say 70% of the knockouts are most of the time off a single kick. Somebody throws a kick and the other guy just stretches his arm, and that's the knockout. So yeah, you're 100% right, man. Set your kicks up with punches. Distraction, wrap it up with a kick.
Yeah, you talked about if you are going to kick, you're going to kick. You got to kick really, really hard. Henry Cejudo, I noticed with Dominic Cruz, he was putting everything into it. So even the times that he didn't get him full impact, you could tell that Cruz's reaction was different from others that have just kicked him. But Henry was selling out, man. He was coming after him hard, and it made a difference.
Dude, I'm so blown away by that guy. I mean, what a talent. I mean, look at this Olympic gold medalist wrestler. And most of the time you see the combination that he's got great hands as well. Used to be a boxer, right? How you call it? Golden Glove boxer. But then he learned some kicks, and his kicks are really good. He kicks really well. And like you said, he kicks on the defense. I never understood people. Like, for instance, if I give somebody a left hook, a normal fighter gives somebody a left hook, but he sees the guy blocking the left hook, then he automatically takes the power of the hook. And I go, why would you do that? He just makes himself one with his head. It's going to go straight through. At the seminar, I would always tell people, okay, imagine I tape a focus mitt to my face and I ask Dwayne to hit me in the head. What do you think? I'm going to go down? And everybody starts laughing. Yeah, of course you're going to go down. I go, so why would you block like this? It goes straight through. So like somebody blocks like this, I'll kick as hard as I can on his defense. It's like you don't want to block knees like this. You want to block them away from the body, because if you go against the body, it will go through the defense. Well, if it counts for knees, why wouldn't that count for heads? I don't understand people. Plus, another thing that comes with it, what I just said, if you just kick as hard on his defense as possible, he's going to feel the power. He's going to be afraid of it. Now he knows he needs to block that kick, because otherwise he's going to go down. And then you do it with the left kick, then you do it with the right kick, a middle kick, a high kick. You start making him afraid of every single kick. Now you're inside his head. Now you start faking and they start blocking, and that's when you start opening up and start countering the punches. You see, it's a basic concept, but it's such a honest concept. Everybody should know this.
So, boss, let me ask you to that. So when you hear Henry Cejudo retire, is part of you like, bravo, kid, get out with your health? You made some money, go do something else? Or does part of you feel like, man, he might regret it because right now he's fighting at his peak? It's all coming together, not just the wrestling he grew up with. What would you advise the young fighter, and maybe even some of those other ones that are kind of caught in some contract disputes, or just maybe dangling out the whole retirement word?
But listen, everybody thinks they believe they're Conor McGregor and they deserve that kind of money, and you don't. He brought so many eyeballs to the things, and once they see him making that kind of money, they say, "Hey, I want to make at least 10%. That will be great, right? I still get $10 million or $8 million if I do that." And I think of Cejudo being an Olympic gold medalist and all the things that he did. I mean, there's not many people that have all the titles that he has. He's an incredible athlete, but he doesn't get paid enough, And then I think he's just holding a stronghold. He's going to say, hey, if the money gets better, I will be back. I think this guy personally, if he starts Thai boxing, he can do in every martial arts. I mean, I literally see how fast he learned mixed martial arts. Yeah, he had a few losses, learned from the losses, and boom, he came back with a bang. So super impressed. I think he can do pretty much anything, maybe even boxing, because his hands look really good as well. Plus, if he goes into boxing already with the titles, a UFC guy and a gold medalist, now money might start be throwing at him, because, a lot of eyeballs are going to watch.
Man, this is great. Just hearing this, you're getting me all pumped up for this weekend's fights. But I want to go back to something. I was going to ask you, how are you dealing physically and mentally with what's happening here with COVID-19? But you already told me, you and the gym and the guys, you were creating workouts. You talked about the workouts in the pool. And then, of course, your positivity is coming across, via the internet bandwidth here that us talking. But I wanted to ask you, Bas, this is important. You lived a lot of life. You're 50. I know you're over 50 years old, like I am, and so you have a lot of experience. Can you talk about what's coming that people don't know, and that's the mental and psychological of how we're going to recover from COVID-19? I think you could probably share some wise words there. You got the physical. You're still in shape, and everything's fine there. But what about the other stuff that people don't think about?
What a lot helps me, and believe it or not, and then people go, "Oh, because so it's a faith. It's really the faith. It's like really, but living by certain standards." And look, I just made a video where I show the people what I do during the day, and some people they react. They say, "That's BS. There's no way you're doing this." I've been doing this for the last 3.5 years. Wake up at 6, spend 2.5, 3 hours. It's all meditation. It's praying. It's stretching. It's I'm walking the dog and once after 3 hours, I open. That's when I turn on my social media. But the first 3 hours are for me, are for the Lord over there, and that's what I'm doing. And it focuses me and it makes me a complete different person. And you start looking at, for instance, my mother had a stroke like 6 weeks ago, and we can deal. We come there, and yes, it's hard. It's heart-wrenching, and she doesn't recognize us and my father, and I feel horrible about this. And suddenly I look at my dad, I go, Dad, we need to count our blessings. I mean, think about this. I got Ryan Lilly, the fighter, right? He lost his mom, or his father, and then 4 years later lost his mother. He's 28 years old. I mean, my mom could have died at birth. She could have had a stroke at 40 and made her pellet. But she's 84. She went through a lot of stuff. She saw everything. She was always healthy. A lot of people love her. I mean, everybody's signing up to visit my mother because they love her, at the hospital. But he had to only be one person because of the COVID-19. So once you start just literally thinking like that, you go, we are so blessed. Another friend of mine, Darren, he's for the last years, his health is up and down and up and down. And yesterday I called him and he says, sorry, can't talk. I'm throwing up. I just got another chemo cure. And you're thinking, oh, my mother is in the hospital and she had a stroke, while she had a full and rich life. And she's in a happy space. Like in the beginning, she will be angry, and because she wanted to get out and she was the opposite of what she normally was. But now, she's smiling, she's laughing. Sure, she speaks like, it's like a kid you're talking to her, but she's in a happy place, man. It could have been way worse. We all should count our blessings. You know how I got through all my crap when I was a kid? People don't realize I had my hands full. I would do this. It would burst and pus would come out of my hands. There were days like it's so bad. Over my arms and your face. And you know what kids see. They call you the leper. I'm the leper in school. All day long. And then people, and asthma. Oh, an attack in bed. Not able to eat. 24/7 for 7-8 days. Do that. That's asthma habit. Not like, oh, my asthma. You see? But the only reason I got out of it, always there's always somebody who has it worse than you. That eczema that I had on my arms and my face and my ears, I knew there were people out there who were covered with that, head to toe. That asthma attack I had for a week in bed, I knew there were guys out there 365 days a year. So compared to those people, I had it actually really good. That's how I always think. Whatever happens, there's always somebody out there who has it worse than you. And once you start thinking like that, you start appreciating life. We don't appreciate life. We don't look around. We don't stop and look. Everything is based. The government tries to distract us from everything. Buy this, buy this, buy this. Short-term attention span, because otherwise people won't buy it because they really start believing. How stupid is it that you buy a product that says clinically tested? Oh, you read the word clinically. Oh, it's got to be good. No, it's clinically tested. What was the result of the test? That's what you should ask. But we're such a short attention span, we don't even think anymore. Oh, it's clinically. I see the word clinically. I'll buy it. It's an idiot product. It's never a good product. It would have been clinically proven if it would have been a good product. Clinically tested is just a way to get inside your head. But we don't stop for those moments anymore. Just chill, sit down, do what I do. 3 hours in the morning for yourself, for whoever you want to pay it to. Take your time, and then you start appreciating life again. It's really very easy, but you have to do it. Oh, I don't have the time. This morning, a guy calls me. I don't have time at the O2 trainer. It was on my O2 trainer page. I'm walking. My dog is there awake. Can I do it during my walk? I go, dude, it takes 4 minutes. It takes 3 minutes for me once you're at a certain level. You say you can't do it. Wake up 3 minutes sooner. What about that? That's what I do. When I realized that I couldn't crop everything in the day, I'm waking up at 6 or at 5:30. Now the whole day is for myself. Now I just made time. And everybody can do that, but we don't. We want to stay up as long as we want and watch the stupid crap on TV. It's all bad. 80, 90%, it's all train wreck, because that's how we validate our lives. Like, oh, it's not as bad as that. That is really bad. So that's why we're watching that stuff. It's stupid. It makes no sense to me. And that all came back once I start coming to myself and to my senses. I go, man, I've been living life always great. Always. I was already great. But just now it's opening up, creating your own time. Take some time for yourself. Turn these stupid phones off. You know what the big change with me made? I did a 90-day thing. It's called Exodus 90. It was a Catholic thing to do. It's 90 days. It's like Lent on steroids. No TV, no things. cold showers, no sweets, only 3 meals a day, no sugars, I mean, I was like a crazy regimen. But in those 90 days, when you cut everything out, no alcohol, no nothing, you can only watch one on Sunday, you can watch one TV program. You can break one rule, like you drink one beer, and for the rest, it's all strict. And then I realized, man, that's why you don't see me on social media as much anymore. Yeah, to promote that workout that comes up, because I realized I was wasting so much time on stupid stuff. Oh, look at me. I'm like, look, my bicep is growing. But what are you doing? It makes no sense to me. Spend that on some good stuff. That's the only thing I did that it freed me up. So step back, enjoy life, guys. We're only here like 80 years, hopefully 100. That's what I said, and we need to enjoy it.
Man, a lot of this is hitting home. I wake up and sometimes check the phone to see, what news is broken, the social media. I think you're right. I'm gonna put it off and be selfish. I gotta take care of George first. I'm telling you, man, you're better than Tony Robbins, boss.
And you know what? So much to me. And as well as if I go, I get all text messages in. I have a special lock so it doesn't ping. But in the morning when I wake up and I need some things that I read, I see text messages, but I don't read them because I know it. Like you read it, and if it's interesting, there goes your meditation, there goes your praying, there goes everything. You're complete because in your mind you're constantly with that one little text, whatever caught your attention. Cut it out. Wake up clean, and after 3 hours or 2.5 hours, start with an hour, by the way. I didn't start with 3 hours. I start with an hour slowly, because if you do 3 hours, you're going to get tired, and it's too much for you in the beginning, and that might steer you away from it. The same as you go into the gym. You haven't trained for 6 months, and you go a full blast workout, and then the next 5 days, you're in so much pain, you don't want to go anymore. Same here. Take your time. Baby steps. But you're going to love it, man. Nice little cup of coffee. Sit down. Enjoy. I love it.
I'm a Catholic boy as well, and I'm ashamed that the 40 days of Lent, I'll choose 6 things, and a few of them, you make it to the finish line. But you said you went 90 days, so I remember you telling me about that once, and I think you told me the worst thing might be the cold shower, right?
Cold showers, yeah. And I'm in California, but we were traveling. We were helping some priests over there in Colorado, where it was minus 25. Those cold showers, dude, that's a whole different animal. I mean, your muscles lock up. You try to literally go wet yourself, then you soap yourself up, and you let the soap go up. That's it. But here, I jump in the pool. I can meditate in 41 degrees pool weather. I swim all year long. I use my pool. This is really weird what I'm going to say now, as a bathtub. Like every night I jump in the pool, but I do this throughout the whole year, so your body gets used to it. I do it at 40 degrees weather, and I've just water. I'm starting at 40. That's the coldest it pretty much get here in California. That's really freaking cold. Those are the ice baths at the fighters take, and I just wash myself in there with soap. I have a bar soap right here next to my pool. That's how I wake up. It makes me feel good, and sometimes I sit under the water, just under the water with a snorkel, and I just meditate for 25, 30 minutes, in the cold, not moving, and it does something to me. I don't know. I just try these things out and I feel good and I just keep doing it.
I feel bad because we're covering a lot, and I should have asked you this. How is your mom? Because you said she suffered the stroke, and I believe you said you had to travel. I imagine it must have been difficult to travel during this time, but now can you just update us on her health?
Yeah, so she lives in the past pretty much now. She would ask her mom and dad, and then there was one moment that I walked in and she was told, because she's very well loved by the nurses, and my dad said the same thing. So many times she sits in a wheelchair in the hallway, and there's like 4 nurses around her talking to her. Hey, Ria, how you doing? Because she's sweet. She's a sweet lady. And I walk in and she goes, oh, she started screaming, Bas is here, my Bas is here. And she started crying from happiness. She's holding me, but then the hard part comes. The hard part, once we realized what she was doing, was that I had a bag for her with clean laundry. And she grabbed the bag, put it on her lap, she wheels herself because her motoric skills are okay. It's only in her head. It's really weird how that goes. She goes to the bed, she started packing all the stuff, and she put it on her lap. She thought I was going to pick her up and bring her home. And then you're going to have to try to explain that is not really working, that you need to be stronger, mom, because if you fall at home, dad can't lift you up. I mean, he's 87 years old, so it's very dangerous. And then, you see that they know something, but, sometimes it's hard. People come and then she's in a mood. They lock her up because apparently she's an amazing escape artist. I'm her son for sure, because now she has the furthest room in the back, so she has to past a lot of people in order to make it all. She figured out how to open the electric doors on her wheelchair. She just escaped. She was standing in front of the stairs, was just about to wheel down the stairs. Can you imagine? So what she sees, she recognizes, she knows how the wheelchair works. She takes the brake off right away, but she's tied in, of course, because otherwise, again, she escapes. She has a special bed, otherwise she escapes. And sometimes she wants to get out of it, and that gets her aggravated, and I can understand that, So that's hard. Those moments are hard. But I would say 85%. She's, if I smile at her, she starts smiling, and we're hugging, and the nurse comes and they give her something, and my mom holds her hand and she kisses the hand from the nurse, and everybody's like, oh, she's such a sweetheart, So yes, unfortunately, she cannot come home with my dad now, but we found a place very close to where my dad lives, so at least he can go back. And for my pet, can be there, because my dad's 100%. You tell him 12 times 79 and he will give you an answer in 5 seconds. He's been a bookkeeper his entire life. He crossword puzzles, all puzzles, whatever puzzles are out there, he fixes them right away, always gets them, so he's and he plays like 6 hours a day piano. There's no way you can do that in a place like that. So he's going to have a lot of visits, but we have a lot of family. My daughter lives there with my grandson and her family, and they like her, and so, she will be okay. She's in a happy place. At least she's not angry. So that's a good thing.
God bless them. I know I met them once, and I know I met your dad, and I'm not sure if your mom was there, but it was either at LA Live or at Mandalay Bay, but I know they're very, very nice people. So again, it's good to hear that there's a road to recovery here going on. Now, Bas, let's talk a little bit about Focal. FOCL. So folks, if you want to follow along, www.FOCL, and Bas is a spokesman for them. And I was reading, when we were going to have you on, I was reading to see what you've been up to. It looks like you're really, really connecting with this company. In fact, I got to imagine Focal Day is kind of what's really helping you get your day started here. After reading about the product and everything you do.
Yeah, there's a lot of, lion's mane, vitamin B6, rosea. These are all things that, theanine. These are things that I already took before for my mind, to keep the mind clear. I memorize things every day. So, and you can literally feel a difference. Now, what Focal did, they say, wait a minute, okay, there's a lot of CBD products out there. They put all those ingredients in one pill, and then they added CBD to it. And CBD makes everything just work better, get better into the system, since it's all endocannabinoids that we as humans also have. We are direct contact with the weed plant, so with the cannabis plant we are. And of course they took the THC out, so you're not going to get high, you're not going to feel things. But you really notice a difference with your mind. I thought that was a really smart thing to do from them, because normally it's just CBD, but they started adding all the other stuff. And the same with the night version. And I say this every time. Once I started taking the night version, I started dreaming again. I haven't dreamed, I don't know why, for years. And suddenly I woke up and I go, whoa, what did this happen now? And I realized I was dreaming again. Valerian root, ashwagandha, passion flower, all that kind of stuff. It's in a pill again. And then they add the CBD to it. And the reason why I really love it is because a friend of mine started it. He was my old partner from the gym. He's a guy who helped me out, who financed the whole thing from the gym. His name is Ken. And this is a guy he helps every single body, but he's also a person that if he does something, it's 100%. It's not going to be 99.9%. And so immediately when I realized that he was going into the CBD business, I go, okay, I would like to connect with this guy because I know him. Everything needs to be done at the highest top level. And, they even have a really good pain cream that they have with menthol and all eucalyptus and all that stuff. And that even has in Tiger Balm. Everybody uses Tiger Balm. Well, they have the same ingredients, but then they add some more as well. And then, of course, again, with the CBD combination, that is, I think, the trick to success with their products.
Yeah, what really caught my eye is the sleeping. Man, it's so important to get good sleep. And I don't know why I thought, well, if I sleep 5-6 hours, I can get more done. But if you're lollygagging through the day on, 5 or 6 of those hours versus giving it your all, then you're really not serving your best interest. So I was really, really interested in that. But, one of the things they pride themselves on is it's a plant-powered wellness products to support your peak performance. So can that translate over to the MMA world and the people that are doing the MMA workouts, whether it's a pro athlete or just a regular Joe Schmo like me catching a workout afterwards for the recovery?
Everybody, I'm literally like you said, non-GMO, vegan, everything's manufactured, it's FDA approved. Everything is the highest testing they go through. So yeah, it works for everything because it's CBD. We by now know. I saw CBD documentary many years ago on One American News, and it was Israel started CBD. They found out how to distract the THC from the CBD, and that the CBD actually had the the qualities against pain and against inflammation and all that kind of stuff. And I was mesmerized by it. I go, wow. I mean, with my whole freaking painkiller addiction that I had for a moment, for like 8 months, and thankfully I stopped it at that moment. But I mean, it was scary, and stuff like this can really help you with that. They use CBD in a lot of detox centers now. Because let's say if you take 3 pain pills, if you take CBD, you only need 1.5 or maybe 2. You see, you need less because you added CBD to it. It absorbs better into the system. So once I start hearing that, and then people start coming out with CBD, and then my body started doing it, I go, okay, you got my attention. Yeah. So this is for everybody. It doesn't matter. We all have our busy lifestyle. We're just talking about it. If you're just a regular person, nobody has time anymore. Nobody makes time for him. Everything is done with pills. I have high cholesterol. I'll take a pill. I have, heartburn. Take a pill. I have my heartbeat. I can't lose weight. Don't go to the gym. No, forget about it. Take a pill for it. I mean, people are insane right now. Our bodies can heal everything themselves, and sometimes they need a little bit of help. And why not look for the help that we already have in our system, and cannabinoids, right? And so endocannabinoids. So we're in direct contact with the plant, like I already mentioned. It's made for us. Why not use it and see if we can heal ourselves? But with everything else, I would simply do what I do: take a step back in the morning, waking up an hour earlier, sooner. Start maybe 15 minutes, half an hour, slowly but surely. And then once you're at an hour, stay with an hour and spend that time on yourself. See how that, without internet, without phones, is going to change your life. Just 1 little hour when you're awake by yourself. And then, of course, when you use products like that, now you get the double whammy, because now it's working. Otherwise, you don't even pay attention to it. You're too busy.
Yeah, I was reading about it last night, and some of it's already on its way. So Goz and I will be giving it a try here, hopefully when we get it. Now, all right, Bas, just 2 more things and then we're done, and we really, really appreciate your time. Dana White recently did an interview, and they asked him, what's your Mount Rushmore of MMA, and he said, well, he went with Chuck Liddell, Amanda Nunes, Royce Gracie, and John Jones. So a lot of people think of Mount Rushmore, the 4 presidents in South Dakota, as the 4 greatest presidents. Others look at them as, and they come by era, because you obviously have Washington, he was our first president, then Lincoln, and then Roosevelt. So some of it go by era. So have you ever been asked that question, or do you have an opinion on what 4 faces you would put up there? Whether it's just the meaning, or the impact they brought to the sport, or the greatness of them, whichever one, however you want to categorize it, if you're interested.
Yeah, this is, I might be weird what I'm going to say. Royce Gracie, 100%. I mean, he needs to be the first guy who did it. But the guy who made it to UFC and made everything big is Dana White. Of course, he can't put himself in, but you can say whatever you want to say. But because of him, we all watch it, because of the Ultimate Fighter. He came up with that idea, and they did everything. So, some people say, oh, more money, you want everything. You can say whatever you want, but he's the hardest working guy. Can he do something different in the beginning with the profanity and everything? Yeah, okay, of course you can do that. But I believe that he should be in there, And then another, it's going to be a very hard toss-up. Chuck Liddell, but MMA, is it MMA in general? Because then you're going to go, maybe Fedor Emelianenko, guys like that. There's so many of these guys that I respect so much, and in other organizations, maybe Fedor, because he was the freaking guy at the other side that we had UFC and Pride. But the person who brought MMA out, look, how many more eyeballs did Conor McGregor put to MMA? Is he the greatest fighter with the submissions? No, he's not. But he's very accurate. He's a very good fighter. I'm not saying that. But just because of what he did and how much attention he brought to MMA, does he deserve to be there? Everybody's going to go, you were crazy. But really? He brought millions and millions. My mother heard about him. My mother doesn't follow the sport. Right? It's insanity. So you see, he did a lot for mixed martial arts. Like it or not, he did. That's why I was always telling these fighters, I said, don't complain about him. Be like him. But guess what? You can't. I can't be like him. Like if I have a spiel that I have to talk out, I will have the same spiel the whole time. You interview me 20 times. He makes it different every single time. It's a gift. That's like Ali had that. He had that. Chael Sonnen, guys like that had that, and he brought it to the next level. And Yeah, but fighting wise, because you lost by submission, I know. But what he did, Dana never fought. But what did he do for MMA? I think he did the most, pretty much. He put it on the map. So I think he should be in it as well. That's what I think.
That's a good group of names. All right, we'll close with this. I always like to bug you about this one. I only save it when you're in the studio, but we don't have no studio. So I wanted to ask you, can you share a good street fight story with us? And I've heard quite a few, but can you clarify what happened with Paul Varlins and he bit your back? Was that with him or with others, or what's that story?
So we were in Russia, in Kiev, when they just separated from Russia. So it was really weird. I remember, okay, so just tell you this. I got picked up by these people. First of all, I come in Kiev. Everybody has a machine gun. And they're eyeballing you. All these military guys. You come out of the plane. You're not even in Kiev. Just out of the plane going to whatever. And they're all looking at you angry. So I figured I'm not going to look at these guys because this is going to go wrong. So finally they say, okay, he said invitation. I said, what invitation? I said, I have no clue what you're talking about. He goes, boom, and he smacks the thing on the thing. He says, invitation. And I go, whoa. I said, relax, man. I go, dude, yeah, they said that to me, but nobody said that I had to bring it. It didn't say invitation. It was just a stamp. And right away I get handcuffed and they throw me in this thing. And I go like, what the heck is going on? So they come in, they start fingerprinting, they put me back in the handcuffs. Then they start making pictures of me. And then they ask me $35 for the pictures. And I go, hey, you made the pictures. I'm not going to pay for the pictures. If I cannot take them home, because now I start getting aggravated. And he says, so I had only guilders with me. This was a long time ago, 21 years ago, 99, I think. And he said, dollars. I said, I only have guilders. And he goes, you change. And I go, me change? You freaking change, because now, and suddenly this little guy comes, a Joe Pesci looking guy, really, like with a limp, and he starts screaming at everybody, gives everybody $100. And they pack my stuff, and they just walk me straight out, not through security. I went through the side of all the people from my plane were going through security, bags got unpacked. I just walked straight out with 3 big bouncers. And I'm sitting in the Cadillac, all Lada cars, plastic cars. And I'm sitting in the Cadillac. And my wife always said to me, like, one of these days, someone's going to shoot you because you're crazy, And I'm sitting there. Nobody speaks a word. 2.5-hour drive. 2 of these big guys next to me. The guy sits shotgun and another security guy in front. And there's nothing, no sound. That was the whole situation, right? So then we went out one night. And it started, it's maybe fun to say, we were eating. So there's no word. Nobody speaks a word to me for 2.5 hours. We finally come into a restaurant. The steak was like $75. A monthly pay is $50 at that time, they told me. Wow. So it's really crazy. We're at this really high-end thing. And I'm getting bread. And I grabbed the bread. I put there's no garlic bread. So I put butter on it. I put some pepper on it. I put some salt on it. And the little Joe Pesci guy goes, I go, what? He goes, you were... Yes, I said, try it. So I gave it to him, and he eats it. And he goes, no. And then suddenly everybody started lining up, and boom, we're high-fiving, and that's where I start first glass of vodka. Now, I'm not a vodka drinker. I always drink beer. But, boom, 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 and we start going. And hey, Paul Varlins, we saw him at the fight, and people started drinking. And then Paul gets crazy suddenly, and we're standing somewhere. I remember that we went to this strip club that the guy owned. I was dancing on the pole. I remember that. I remember 2 guys wanted to take me away, with machine guns. And one guy, he hits me, so I slap him in the face. Now they bring me both outside. I'm pretty sure they were going to do something horrible to me. But again, Joe Pesci say, hey, all right, start screaming. And they let him, oh, no. They were all afraid of that guy, So, Paul Varlins suddenly, he does something, and I just mess around. I go under a sponge, and I push him in his back, and suddenly he grabs me from the back of the bear hug, and he starts biting my back. Ooh. And I go, Paul, you're hurting me, dude. You're hurting me. And I mean, later we saw his teeth went through it, like straight through it. So that's how hard he bit. I said, Paul, you got to go, blah. And he's not listening because he drank too much. So I figure for him, like Kimura him, so to say. And I see this big, I thought it was like a mirror against the wall, but it was like one of those double set like at a police station, right? They could look for the other side. And I switched, and I figured I swing him through the wall and he's going to bounce, but it was a mirror, so he flew straight through. And he had stitches everywhere on his arm. He had to go to the hospital to get stitched up, but that was the Paul Varlins story. But then, like I said, when they looked at my back, he bit clean through my skin. So, and Paul's a good guy, It was
a horseplay fight between friends. It just got carried away.
It was just fun. It was a fun thing. We were both drunk. And but it hurt, so I thought I threw him against the wall, but it was a mirror, and he went straight through.
Dude, your life is like a bunch of Liam Neeson movies. You know what I mean? Like,
Good. I started writing. I told
Eastern Europe.
I'm going to write things down. What I did, bullet points.
Yeah.
And literally, like 2 hours later, I look at her. I said, "I'm not going to do it." He said, "Why not?" I said, "Nobody's going to believe it anyway." This is like so insane, the things that happened. But then I started thinking, maybe because all the time it's with somebody there, not me. So I go, wait a minute, what if and I have to wait till my youngest daughter is 21, because otherwise they're going to say, oh, you did it, why can't I do it? You know exactly what's going to happen. So I'm going to wait maybe till I'm 21 years old. She's 21. And then I'm going to also interview the people who were present. So then the people know, oh, it's not only coming from me, they actually hear it from the people who were there, so they can second me. They say, yeah, no, I was there. This actually happened. Because otherwise it's just too crazy. Just the fact, climbing on a building. Like, I thought that how insane am I? I'm freaking out still. I'm drunk. I'm in Japan, in Kobe. This was after the earthquake. Like, the freeways were on the ground. It was really weird situation. Anyway, after the fight, I drank too much. I thought that Frank Shamrock, I'm on the 42nd floor, 45th floor, high up. And I thought his room was next to me. So I want to go outside, go over a railing that is this big. I mean, my toes would over it. So move to the side, and I knock on the window just to mess with him, right? But I have to break this security thing, because needless to say, you can't go out the window. So I break the thing, and I open up the window, and I'm getting out, and I'm drunk out of my mind. I mean, I don't know why I didn't fall. And I'm knocking on the window, and the curtain's open. It's a couple, like not Frank. And I go like, oh, sorry, So I go back, and I'm laughing, and right away my telephone goes. And they go like, "We Scotty, been you outside?" I said, "No, we're not outside." "We come up now." And I go like, what do I do? Because I broke the thing. And I'm chewing gum. I go, I'm like MacGyver, right? I go, I cut my gum, and I start little pieces of gum. I put it on the plastic, and I press it on there. And I have the curtains. I jump in bed like I was asleep, And they barge in, and they go, what's going on? And they open the window, and they see the security thing is on it. So they go, oh, I'm sorry. And they go, good. So they walked out. I go, yeah, I got it. I don't know what would have happened. I don't.
But you were 40 stories up, like you literally
over 40 stories up. Over 40 stories up, and my toes were over. I'm telling you, over the railing. On my heels, I went to the side, dude. I was such an idiot. And now somehow God let me live, He was pulling the strings against the wall. And I have stories like that all the time. I have way more stories, car accidents, like a car accident flying over a crash barrier, no seatbelts, no roof on the car. Somehow we stayed in the roof. All trees we missed on the way down, upside down in the water. My friend is knocked out, who, by the way, I saw him fly through the car in slow motion. So I literally in the car, while I was flying, I'm putting him in my guard and hold him. And I was just focusing on the Terminator thing, like, I said, don't let me see that. That was the only thing I was focusing on. And boom, we're upside down in the water. And I go, what's going on, And he's out. And then water starts coming in. I go, oh, shit, because I don't know how deep it is. We need to get out. So
you're in the car. The car is submerged in water?
Yeah, so upside down in the water. No seatbelt. I mean, I have no clue.
Wait, where did this happen?
That was in Holland. My steering wheel was like this in the car. It was like completely like that in the car, because in the sprint, I just bent the whole steering wheel. And it was crazy. And I kick the window out. I bring my friend out. I drag him outside. And people are coming running down from the freeway because they couldn't believe. I said, that's it. I said, this is crazy. So finally, Leon, it was Leon Van Dijk, the fighter. He wakes up, right? And I go, Leon, okay? So I lift him up. I say, are you okay? And he looks at me, goes, yeah. He thought he was in a fight. He puts his hands up. Wow. To show me that, and I'm laughing, so we go to the hospital, and then I'm so psychotic. I don't know why I do these things. On the way, we said that go to a gas station, get some beers because we survived, right? Let's get some beers before we go to the hospital. So the cab driver stops us because you can buy beer at the gas station. Don't ask me why. Actually, you can't do it now anymore. They stopped it 3 years ago because, of course, obviously it's dangerous. So suddenly he needs to go into surgery because his head is from here to here, like a skull is there, right?
Wow.
So just before he walks into the surgery room, I said, wait, I mean, come back. I said, lean over. And he leans over, and I put my finger under the scar, and I go like, and the surgeon goes, well, what are you doing? I go, when do I have a chance to touch somebody's skull? I will never have that again, They called the police on me to throw me out of the hospital. It was and Leon stands there. He's laughing, of course. That
Damn.
Stories like that, I got packs of those stories. Just insane.
Write them down or do them on YouTube or something. You got to share those, man. I haven't laughed this hard in a long time. Like, seriously, this is good stuff.
Crazy, right? Yeah.
Listen, it's been great catching up with you. I can't wait to see you again here in Vegas or when we're in California.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, stay safe, you and your family. And when that focal stuff comes, I'm going to start my day off with focal day and then do some night. I'll report back to you and let you know how it went. All right.
Do it and relax in the morning. Take that hour for yourself. Start doing that. Don't look on your phone. I'm telling you, man, it's going to change your life. That's really what it did to me.
This was great, Bas. Thanks so much for the time, man. It was great catching up with you. And again, prayers to your mama and stay safe. All right, bud?
You too, brother. You too, Ghost. Godspeed, guys.
All right, we'll see you.
Do it. Bye.
Hang on. All right, thanks.